Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture room of pharmaceutical jurisprudence. Here we are going to study today the code of pharmaceutical ethics. In this code of pharmaceutical ethics, we have spent already two lectures where we have studied about code of pharmaceutical ethics related to the job and related to the trade. Now today we are going to study about code of pharmaceutical ethics related to the pharmacist in relation to his profession. So before starting the topic pharmacist in relation to his profession, we are going to just recap the whole study that we have performed till now. So if we recap the study we have studied, that the code of pharmaceutical ethics. So first of all, we have to know what is ethics. And according to the definition, ethics is the code of moral principle or the science of morals. If you have some kind of principle in your life, that can be a good conduct or bad conduct, and based upon that conduct, your principles are will be there. And being as a professional to the pharmacist, you have to maintain some principle in your profession, and these professional principles are known as code of pharmaceutical ethics. So we have discussed about the code of pharmaceutical ethics that has been classified into four terms, that is pharmacist in relation to his job, pharmacist in relation to his trade, pharmacist in relation to his profession, and pharmacist in relation to medical profession. We are going to discuss about the pharmacist in relation to his profession. See, what is the profession? If someone acquired some degree and he have or she have expertise in this degree, and she or he have practiced the work based upon the degree, then it becomes his or her profession. For example, if doctor, they are having the degree of MBBS, BMS or BDS, whatever he have, and then he work for his profession, along with he have acquired some knowledge related to that and practice that, then the doctorate or medical is become its profession. Like us pharmacist, we have degree in pharmacy, that may be bachelor or master or diploma. We have certificate in that, we have registration in that, along with we have knowledge regarding to this field, and we are working on this field. So the pharmacy has become our profession. So for the profession we have some code of ethics, some moral principle that we have to follow, and that moral principle has been laid down by the Pharmacy Council of India. What are those? Those include the professional vigilance, law abiding citizen, relationship with professional organization, and decorum and propriety. Now we are going to discuss one by one. At first, that is the professional vigilance. So the term vigilance itself signifies its significance, that you should vigilant about your profession. To be a vigilant to your profession, you have to always be respectful for the society as well as for the profession. There may be lots of ups and downs in society. There may be ups and downs in your profession, but you have to be vigilant and you have to be careful about the profession, and you should think always how to improve your profession by abiding in the law. So for this, you need to know the laws and the regulation, then only you can follow them, and if you follow them, then the others around your circumstances, they will also obey you. As a result, your profession will be great and you will be towards the success of your profession. There will be your fellow workers, that will be fellow pharmacist, or there may be your boss. So you need to extend your help and cooperation all the time towards your fellow workers as well as your co-workers, colleagues in any time they need. For this, you need to know the profession very well. Then only you can work on your profession for your professional growth. Next point in this professional ethics is law abiding citizen. So if you are citizen of India, you must be respectful to the laws, and the laws will be related to the land, related to the food, related to the pharmacy, related to the health as well as sanitation. The last point, health and sanitation, is most important in current context of coronavirus pandemic. You already know that. So it is already there. It is already there in the law that you should be a law abiding citizen. To abiding this law, you have to take care of these things, that is the land. If you are working on different land, there may be some kind of laws and you have to follow that. If you are a pharmacist, there will be handling of food products, there will be pharmaceuticals, so they are very essential for health. And to improve the health condition, you need to focus on sanitation also. And the last point, if you are law abiding citizen, your life cannot be divided into compartments. You, for example, you cannot be different for your family members as well as for the other public. You need to know what is good for you and what is good for the society. Then only you will be allowed as law abiding citizen, and this is important for the professional ethics. Next point under this scope is relationship with professional organization. If you are abiding the law, being in a profession of pharmacist or the profession of pharmacy, then there will be some kind of organization where you are involving in, and you have to maintain a law as well as ethics to the surrounding of that profession. In every part of the organization, there are lots of people. People makes the organization as successful. So being a successful organizer, you need to inculcate a corporate life, your own colleagues, with your own colleagues. So you have to be very precise, very professional in your professional life with the colleagues. You have to join and advance the cause for all. That is, what is benefited, what is good for them, what is good for you. You have to care about that. And being as a professional, you have to improve your scientific, moral, and cultural well-being for yourself as well as for fellow pharmacists. And this point, being as a pharmacist, we generally avoid, because after entered into the professional field, we generally forget to improve our knowledge. From the knowledge, there will be the moral and cultural value. So we need to study and we need to gather the knowledge regarding our advancement of profession. And the last point, in no way we cannot betray, or you cannot, or as a professional we cannot contrary with the code of pharmaceutical ethics. We have to follow each and every point for our profession, then only our profession will be at the higher peak. And the last point under this professional ethics was decorum and propriety. To maintain a decorum and propriety, that is dependent upon your behavior, and that is dependent upon your respectfulness towards the society, towards the profession. To maintain those profession, you have to refrain from all such act and deeds which are not proper. You should not do anything stupid or anything not that is proper for your society, for your customer, for your consumer, for your fellow workers, for your colleagues. So you have to maintain a decorum like professional. And the next point, you should not likely to bring any discredit to the professional or to himself. You should not indulge yourself in such activity that may cause the discredit to your profession as well as that may cause discredit to yourself. If you are bounding to these rules, then you will see the professional growth. Under the next, we have to study the pharmacist in relation to medical profession. So as we have already discussed that the pharmacists are the linker between patient as well as medical practitioner. So being as a professional to pharmacist, we have to be in some limit as well as we have to maintain some decorum towards the medical profession also. In any kind of point or any such point, we need not to think that we are medical professional. So the work that are limited to the medical professionals, we need not to do these things like writing a prescription or prescribing some diagnosis towards the patient. So we have to be careful about that also. In this code of medical profession, we have to study about the limitation of professional activities, clandestine arrangements, and liaison with public. In first point, limitation of professional activities, it says that if your professional activity is pharmacist, so you have to be in limit to your pharmacy profession. You need not to be a medical professional. And in the same point, medical professionals or medical practitioners should not be like pharmacists. So you are not allowed, as a being pharmacy professional, you are not allowed to prescribe a medicine. On the other hand, medical practitioner or doctor, they are not advisable or they are not the actual person to open a pharmacy store. So this is the thing, that you are not advising someone for any diagnosis, that you may have this problem, so you diagnosis that I am prescribing this. So you are not the doctor. But in anyhow, if there are some first aid required, pharmacist can deliver this first aid to any consumer, to any patient before going or before going to the hospital. So this is the term for emergency. If there are some victim comes to you, you should do the first aid for his betterment. In next point, that is clandestine arrangements. Being as pharmacy professional, you are not advised to enter in any secret arrangement or any kind of contract with medical practitioner. That can be done by some kind of offering any good amounts. There may be some good or handsome type of kind of gifts, or there may be some kind of other things that may physical physician attract to. So you should be like your professional, and you should not do such things that is not ethical according to the Pharmacy Council of India, and that is not ethical according to the society's law. And the last point, that is liaison with public. See, this work of liaison with public, this is the responsibility of the HR person or the human resource person. But as being as pharmacist, we are closest to the patient. than the medical practitioner or than the doctor. So we have the link between doctor and patient. So we have to be very sure about this lesson, and we can advise the public regarding some problem they may face. So for this we have to be the up to date, or we should have the up to date knowledge regarding to that. As a connector, we can advise to the patient as well as we can suggest something to the physician. But we have to be very careful about this thing, because that need not to be like advice. Medical practitioner didn't want our advice, but there may be some kind of suggestion regarding to the pharmaceuticals, because being as a pharmacist we have the better knowledge of pharmaceuticals for the patient as well as for the doctors also, physicians also. So we can say that there may be some kind of vehicle, if there are polar non-polar vehicle. So we can suggest that sir, if you prescribe the medicine in polar vehicle in water, that may works better. Or the color you are prescribing according to the dosage form, that is improper. So it should be like that. And at the last point, we should, or pharmacist should educate the patient regarding the various techniques of administration of drugs. If the patient are unaware about how to administer the properly the drugs into his body cavity or into his body bloodstream, then we can, being as a pharmacist, we can suggest, or we can uh, educate them regarding the administration, that how it could be done. So these are about the code of pharmaceutical ethics regarding to the profession as well as regarding to the medical profession. So regarding to the profession, we need to be careful about our professional and our professional growth. So for this we need to careful about something, like we have to be law abiding citizen. Along with that, we have to be in good relationship with the other fellow public as well as the professional organization, as well as we have to maintain some propriety and decorum. Under the code of pharmaceutical ethics regarding to medical professional, we need to know that we are not medical professional, so we have to work in the limit of medical professional, and doing so we can educate the doctors also, we can educate the patients also. Along with that, we have to be in connect with public, so we can do the liaison work with the public. So thus we can uplift our profession as well as we can maintain a proper ethics or decorum towards our society, towards our profession. So thank you student, thank you for your time. Hope you like the lecture and the video. If any problem or any suggestion, that is most welcome, and I will be happy to hear from you. Thank you for your time.